Hello and welcome to the third and final round front nine coverage of the 2020 Played Again Sports Jonesboro Open. This coverage is presented by Prodigy Disc, and we are bringing you the action with Big Barry commentary, myself joined in the booth by Paul Ulibarri.
Another final round. I am super excited. Look at this guy.
This guy's leading the way right now. He's got 3 shots over Calvin Heimburg. Once again, coming out here looking very conservative, looking very businesslike. The guy's a shredder. You need to watch out for him. So is this guy, Andrew Presnell. He means business. And he is also in the hunt, as well as you, Paul Ulibarri. You're 5 shots back at 16 under par, birdieing 50% of the holes so far in the event. You're going to need to birdie more than 50%, I believe, in this round to catch the likes of Paul McBeth and Calvin Heimburg. They are 2 incredible front runners, and they are going to be pressing the issue all day long, I am sure. Hole 1, par 3, 450 feet, straight up the hill. We're going to have a headwind today. It's going to make it extra hard to get there.
First to tee off, coming from California. He's 22 down after 2 rounds. He's the defending champion of this event and a 15-time winner on the Pro Tour. Let's get real loud for Paul McBeth.
Kind of interesting that Paul's still claiming California.
It's interesting that he's won 15 times on the Pro Tour. The Pro Tour has been around for like 6 months or something. It's like, doesn't make any sense.
15-time winner of the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and so many runner-ups in that time as well. Seems to always be there. And there's that headwind that we're seeing. It started off on a good line, and that pushed over to the right side trees. That'll be probably just outside circle 2.
Tee, shooting 19 down through 2 rounds, representing the state of Florida. Give it up for Calvin Heimburg.
Let's see if he can make a nice little correction after Paul's shot. Going first can sometimes not be the best because you don't know what the wind's going to do, but now Calvin has a nice little wind read.
And looks like a similar shot to round 2. Off to the right side, dropping down, and slightly surprised to see that from Calvin, considering he's one of the best
on
low
the box,
ceiling.
and 17 down after 2 rounds, representing Missouri. Big round of applause for Andrew Presnell.
Calvin has one of the best headwind drives with the way that he throws the destroyer, overstable destroyer, low.
With a high velocity.
Mm-hmm. Presnell can get it out there. I think this is a hole that he can get inside the circle.
Oh, for sure.
And
just not today.
Yeah, not today, but that's going to be somewhat close to
Final
pin high. Not a bad place to run a putt.
Card, shooting 16 down through 2 rounds, representing the state of Arizona. Let's get real loud for Paul Ulibarri.
Also 16-time winner.
Of the under par.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Coming off the hot 12 under round 2, where you went 7 under on the back 9. Make things a little bit better here on the front 9 and repeat what you did on moving day. And it just didn't turn. I like the way it came out of your hand. Just did not turn to the right like the first 3 shots did.
Yeah, there was a little shift in the wind, and you'll see that during the round. There's going to be a lot of swirly conditions. It's going to be really tough to read the wind.
Oh, my goodness. McBeth off the front cage from nearly 100 feet. That was an incredible shot. Calvin not getting as aggressive, just laying that one up. Oh, man. Having to go to the flick roller. Only about 80 feet away or so.
Yeah, there wasn't much, honestly.
And that's going to be a challenging par putt to start the round off. And that's a solid putt with that left to right slight headwind cross.
Yeah, I mean, you would like it to be for a birdie, but
Of course.
making it for par feels like a birdie at that point in the round.
Regardless, it's the first putt of the day, and it's a solid putt, nearly 30 feet. And sometimes that's the best way to get things started, even if it is just for par. So no birdies on hole 1. Everything stays the same heading into the 5th hardest hole on the course at a 4.15 average. We are here on hole 2. This is a very tough par 4, 820 feet. You want to get about 440 feet down the hill, and you want to keep it as hugged to the left side of that fairway as possible, opening up the biggest angle coming into this very low ceiling, long uphill approach. OB all the way down the left side, but it really doesn't come and play off the tee. Only place you might ever see anyone go out of bounds would be on the approach near the green.
And distance isn't the biggest factor here. It's left. You want to get the disc to hyzer left, because then you can, especially on this card with McBeth and Calvin having the distance that they do have, getting left will make that approach. They can really do it with any disc in their bag almost.
And Calvin, that's exactly the angle you want to hug that shot. And that, I mean, again, we're talking about walking up the fairway and placing it exactly where you want. That's it. Andrew with a nice pull, but this is flattening out, and you're going to see what we're talking about with Andrew's second shot. If we have a shot behind his shoulder, you can really get a sense of how difficult that second shot is from off to the right side of the fairway.
And every time I was sitting at home thinking about this shot, I just told myself, put a little bit more hyzer on it. But when you get to the tee pad, the way that the gap is, when you put more hyzer on it, it makes the gap smaller. So then you're like, I'll take the straight shot.
Yeah, it is a difficult thing to commit to that angle. And Paul going the high flex shot instead of trying to challenge the low ceiling. And that's a bit of a misfire for McBeth.
Yeah, right distance, just a little bit too much turn. It's a pretty finicky shot going up that. You have about a 8-foot window that you can flex that through. So,
and there you go. You cannot see the basket from Presnell's position, and gets it to the top of the hill, but that's no better than 80 feet, I don't think. And is this your heat?
This is my heat, yes.
And this needs the curl quick, and you'll have a look for the birdie. That's a great effort from there. That's 50 feet.
Yeah, very happy with that result. I mean, you don't see a lot of people get very close from the position I was in, and that I feel like that is the only way to do it. So it was kind of a hyper-aggressive play, because if it gets on a cut, that OB left becomes in play. But this is
stock. This is as stock as Calvin can really imagine or hope for. And I mean,
and I'll buy some of that stock.
Buy heavy. That is a fantastic shot from Calvin.
I feel like Calvin's shot is just as easy as Presnell's up shot right there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, to them, their shot is like equally as mentally challenging and physically. Yeah, it's crazy. The things that man does with an eagle is just Barsby with the eagle at times with the forehand stuff is really impressive, but you got to go back to the Ken Climo days to really see an eagle get thrown the way that Calvin does. Hanging on the left side of the basket, never really rode to the right, and you're still out here for the par. It's in there, though.
Yeah, I couldn't really extend my arm. You saw like a kind of a stabby stroke there. I couldn't extend my arm where I wanted to because of those whole hanging leaves. So it was one of those begging for it,
yeah,
sure, type things. Wasn't a confident stroke by any means.
Every once in a while, those go in. Calvin with the birdie. Going to take one of those 3 shots away from McBeth's comfort zone.
I feel like a lot of people, outside the circle, if you have a wide open putt, you focus on certain things. The one thing that I focus on is just getting the height right. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I mean, get the height right, or the aim. Get one of the 2 of them right. Just don't miss both.
Right.
Definitely don't miss the height or the aim consecutively. Hole 3, par 3, 435 feet. Just a straight across the field shot. Doesn't feel quite as far as hole 1 because it's a lot shorter. So you can actually go with a fairway driver. Most players might go with the stable destroyer. Maybe flex it out to the right side a little bit.
Yeah, I almost feel like that's kind of a tougher in-between shot for Calvin because he might want to go eagle there, and destroyer might be a little too, because he can throw this to the next tee pad.
I'm surprised I don't know what he threw that. I don't know what that yellow disc is, but I'm kind of surprised he's not throwing an eagle, to be honest with you. Paul, I think he thinks he doesn't like it, but I think he should.
Now, I know Paul, I know that disc is an onyx, so
okay,
he is kind of going to a slower disc
compared
to like the force that he's used to throwing.
It does come up a bit short, but McBeth is in McBethy range. Presnell going full flex, and this is kind of why people like to go that high line, and that worked out great. And this is your Zeus?
Yes. This is Zeus.
And pushing that out wide, and that should be swinging back nicely. And that's a good shot. McBeth coming up actually a bit shorter than it looked from the catch cam, but that doesn't matter. He's still in McBethy range.
He got the height right.
Yep. And the aim, actually, at the same time.
He does that a lot.
That's a good thing to do. That was right on the pole. That was perfect. Way to secure that lead. And from the edge of the circle, that's a good stroke for the birdie. You know what? I'll clap.
Thank you.
That was a good birdie.
Yeah.
Looked a bit closer. Again, both of those were a bit lengthier birdie putts than I initially had thought. Calvin to keep pace with the group so far. Also from the edge of the circle. Oh, man, that used all of it. Wow. I think Calvin got like 6 putts there. There was a little bit of favoritism maybe.
Yeah, and he gave him a few hand waves too, so that was nice. He acknowledges it. That's all you need to do.
Calvin acknowledging the fans. We're going to acknowledge the Edge program. $25 to them. Hole 4, par 4, 630 feet. That low ceiling play probably isn't going to be attacked by, maybe you. I don't know. We'll see. But most of the players are most likely going to be going that high, wide hyzer route, trying to land the disc somewhere on the right side of the screen about here and setting them up with a very short putter approach. There is OB around the back side of the basket that can potentially come into play with that high rise basket.
See ya.
Sent.
Would want to be ya.
Mm-hmm.
God, that would feel cool.
To be that disc?
Uh-huh. Just
I don't know, man. That's a headache.
I don't know.
Just 12,000 revolutions. Not a chance. Yeah, that is just too easy. These guys are ripping that.
You not an adrenaline junkie?
I don't want to get my head spun around 12,000 times in about 8 seconds. That's for sure.
What about roller coasters?
I wouldn't ever ride one that
Well,
the ride was basically a Frisbee.
You're about to see one with my round, my friend.
And Presnell with a nice shot, but there, right there is an illustration of the difference in the power with Calvin and McBeth versus so many others. And you are going down the fairway, and I like that. That's good angle, perfect height. Get a little skip. Okay, just moved a little forward. Onyx? Where's this again?
That was a vulture.
Okay, I'll guess again.
And this is a ringer.
Like you're ringing it up?
I'm happy with the result.
You should be. That was sick. And that was pushing 320? Or
did,
no, not
I did
quite.
range find it at 322.
Really?
Yeah, nicely done.
Wow.
Impressive.
That was awesome. Good shot.
Prez gets through to about circle's edge right there.
Okay. And McBeth from the standstill position, that looks so good. Just so buttery, fluffy, just can't do anything besides be 5 feet from the basket. Actually, that's probably too far. It's probably closer. Okay. Yep.
Stock.
Yep. This putt is a bit tough for some people.
I don't know anybody on the planet that putts like Presnell.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that throws like him either. He really plays a unique style of disc golf.
Very unassuming and very fundamentally sound.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he sticks to it. So when you see someone who doesn't really emulate other players, as long as they're able to repeat that over and over again, they can improve from it, learn from it, and build their game off of that. And Presnell's made a career out of it, and that's why he's on this lead card and kicking butt.
Hole 5 is a 495-foot par 3 with out of bounds down the entire right side and a drop zone that'll guarantee bogey. Do you go for the makeable island green, or do you throw the conservative 250-foot layup shot to secure the easy par? Let's see how it plays out.
I don't think anyone's playing for par today here, Paul.
Yeah, once you make that lead card, you're probably not playing very conservative.
Well, if you are, you're getting all the other birdies. This one's just right there for these guys. It's just a little tight here for Calvin, but he gets through the inside edge, and at the top edge of the circle, that's going to be a downhill putt from about 33 feet for the birdie.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Once you get to that left side, a lot of them kind of filter through, which is nice. The big mistake is putting it out wide and then never having a chance to come in. So that was, the right miss.
Paul going a similar route, but I don't think that he is going to get through. That looks like, that's going to be out of bounds, and that right there could potentially be the two-shot swing that Calvin's been waiting for.
Yeah, it got a bit breezy right here, so the wind read for all 4 players is going to be pretty tough. As you see, Presnell's just shoots up.
Wow. And then just kind of drops down, and does it get through at the end? No, it doesn't, and that'll also go to the drop zone. So what's going through your mind right now?
Well, his lifted, so I was thinking slight head. I just said throw it flat and hard.
Oh, get love. Get some love. That wasn't love.
No. And so
threw it the way I wanted. It could have drifted. You don't know. Like I said, we all had kind of bad wind reads. Whenever you make a mistake like that, it's normally you just got to be confident. I think all of us were.
Sure. There were committed lines, and like you could tell, Presnell's that was such a surprising result as it just skyrocketed straight up out of his hand.
Yeah, I mean, all of us could very easily be at the drop zone.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's going to be our first bogeys of the round, but Calvin with an opportunity to keep that birdie streak alive here and bring it to 4 straight. Feet. And this guy is in the Cal zone right now.
He's streaking.
That is a solid effort down the hill, right in the middle. Yeah, and that is a tie ball game now here at 23 under par. McBeth only 1 under through the first 5. Not the worst start for your average competitor at this event.
Yeah, he's tied with me. That's about literally the most average you can get.
Right. And Presnell as well is at 1 under, and Calvin 4 under par. That is exactly what you want to do if you are trying to make a good run here on the last round. Hole 6. The island hole, par 3, 315 feet, about maybe 270 to clear the water. Any shot that does not cross that line that you see painted on the ground there or stay inside the walls will have to go to the drop zone, which is on the short side.
One thing to note, in previous rounds it's been left to right. Today it was a right to left win. Or right to left, so getting it over kind of dropped it.
Oh, okay. So if that had ever faded, Calvin may have been in some trouble, but picking the right disc and throwing a great shot. And McBeth having some disc selection changes on the tee box, holding the Luna, and then electing to go with the ESP Buzz.
Yeah, you can see the flag switch from right to left to right. So now favoring that backhand play.
A very nice flat release to keep the disc unaffected by the wind. And Presnell very low. Is that have enough? Oh, just barely. Is that Presnell's green drone?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same one he's always thrown, but he has been throwing a green drone for a number of years. And Z-Force coming in nicely. Yeah, that's a great shot. Calvin, to keep that birdie streak alive, he is on fire right now. This is exactly what he was looking to do to start this round off. Considering how tough hole 1 is, I mean, and the fact that he didn't lose a shot to really many people in the entire field. Basically birdied everything. And McBeth needing to make this to keep pace with Calvin. That was a little sketchy.
Yeah. Careful, Paul. Don't hit it so center every time.
And that's 3 star frames in the last 4 holes. Some good action coming from this lead group. last round in Jonesboro.
Yeah, I've been bobbed every hole.
I know, it's like, what do you do? Like, it's gonna take an ace or an eagle to get up there, dude. But I believe in you. I believe in you, Paul.
I'm gonna get that box.
Hole 7, par 4. 615 feet. 2 plays, really just one is crush it as far as you can, as straight and long, or kind of play a little bit more of a chip hyzer to the left side of the big tree that's in the middle of the fairway. If you do that, you'll set up a good angle for the approach into this green.
Northern Michigan? Yeah, it's I'm heading up there for 2 weeks. Oh, here we go.
And Calvin playing the slight chip hyzer. I mean, that's still a good 440 feet or so.
Still my favorite place.
But that's the best angle to approach this green.
Paul going to the opposite side of the tree, which is also easy peasy.
Yeah, really the only problem is if you just turn it over and you go way down the hill to the right, because the hill slopes from left high to right low, and once you start turning, it never really seems to come back. And this is this in the in-between zone? That could be trouble for Presnell. That might be a difficult approach. And this one looks similar to Calvin's. Oh, that's a good shot.
I haven't been there yet. I moved away before it opened.
Going with your Raptor approach, and that is a bit high. That needs to get lucky to squeak through, and that's going to come up short.
Yeah, bad angle, honestly. Needed to be low with a lot of anhyzer, and it came out.
Oh, I thought you meant to like attack the pin. I was like, the angle looked good, but you're saying the release angle.
Yeah, it was a complete shank for sure.
And that low ceiling kind of forcing the issue there for Presnell to keep the disc low, and he throws a nice shot, just doesn't drive it as long as he needed, and that will be an outside the circle putt for birdie. That needed a lot of help off that grass. It's just kind of difficult to really predict how much of a skip you're going to get, but that was everything that he needed.
Yeah, he even said, he's like, wow, that's one of the luckier skips I've gotten.
Yeah. And a great shot from McBeth. And you had to be thinking about round 2, how you made a putt from this side of the fence.
No.
You didn't
Just
even
lift
think about that.
a little bit.
Nope. Probably shouldn't be thinking about previous rounds when I'm trying to make putts in the moment, you know?
You do, you do. I like to sometimes harness like a good feeling. If I have a good memory on a green, I like to think about that, and it kind of puts my mind in a good place. And then, you know, obviously then you focus in on your putt. But
Try that next time.
So the birdie for Calvin and McBeth, and pars for Presnell and Ulibarri. Hole 8, par 3, 324 feet. Blind forehand hyzer. You're probably going to see a backhand anhyzer from Presnell. Just going to this elevated basket. Overturned or too much hyzer with the forehand, and you're going to be in that really tough area right by the basket, and probably not much of a look for the birdie. Calvin going with a Tour Series Calvin Heimburg Destroyer. And this is pushed way too far left. It needs to really get over to the right quick, and that is not a putt you really want on this hole.
Yeah, that's going to be scary.
Mm-hmm.
With a capital Y.
I think it starts with an S still, but yep.
Not at the end. Scary.
Oh, it's a normal lowercase scare. Big capital Y.
That's right.
Ah, okay. And Paul, after we saw him hit the bottom of the base yesterday, coming up short, a little bit too much hyzer.
That'd be tough, like a scary capital S.
Scary.
Yeah.
And this is your Z-Force.
No, go.
That needs to get some legs. Oh, okay. That could have been worse. A little bit of a kick kind of down.
And could have been better.
And could have been better. Yeah, it kind of just sat, which is okay.
Right there. Yeah.
Calvin 45. And so the 6-hole birdie streak comes to an end on hole 8, but that's he's done the work. Now he's in the mix. And he and Paul will be battling it out. Oh. And not
Come
losing
on,
a stroke here.
Give it a run. Tailwind, no drop, lift, in fact. Perfect. How is that even possible? Unreal.
I feel like of all the tournaments in recent memory, I totally feel like this event had the swirliest windy conditions throughout the 3 rounds that I can really remember. Each shot seemed like it could have done something completely different from each tee shot from every person in the group.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. I think in years past, when I think of like windy putting conditions, I think USDGC has some of the swirliest, like, because every hole's kind of on a little hill slope, and you're like coming over a hill and under a hill, and it's hard to read, you know?
Yeah, exactly. There's no wind patterns. It's just coming from each and every angle, and you never know which one's coming at you at what time. You just have to pick your shot and give it the best possible effort, and hopefully your read is correct. Hole 9, par 4, 750 feet. Tight gap off the tee, trying to get off to the left side, opening up the best angle for the hyzer backhander approach. Basket is on a somewhat scary green side, or hillside. It could potentially produce some rollaways.
Especially since a lot of times you'll hit that guardian area right before it and leave you about 45 feet. And then it just looks so gettable. So you can't really lay it up. When's the last time you saw somebody lay up a 45-footer straight downhill on a lead card?
On the lead card, I mean, if you're in the hunt, I don't remember. But I saw Avery Jenkins lay up a putt on a downhill inside the circle putt inside at the World Championships in the playoff, and he ended up winning.
I remember that. That was greatest layup of all time.
He ended up winning the playoff. Yeah, hole 2.
Yep. Waterworks.
No,
Blue Valley.
Blue Valley. Paul, Calvin, Presnell, all perfect through the gap. Great shots.
Hey, you know what, guys? Good job.
Good job to you. Congratulations. And I hadn't even noticed this, but you and Presnell have actually played the same exact round so far. And that is going to be a bit farther away than the other guys, but that's still in range for the big hyzer second shot.
I personally like being left and short. That way I have a full shot kind of coming in, and I don't have to like have any guessing games. I like when my yeah, I explained this to you before, but I like having a shot that kind of is running out of speed coming down to the basket instead of having touch coming in.
That was a good shot from Presnell, just getting past that little branch sticking out there at the end. And this kind of just spikes down. Wow, that goes through the back door and doesn't slow down at all.
Actually looks like it speeded up a bit.
Yeah, kind of just hit the wheels. Paul going to big flex forehand. I like that. And you guys know I like that. And that is not going to slow down either.
Let's see if it ends up close or not. In the chocolate milk pond down there.
And Calvin almost just about outdrove the fairway. That sets him up for a makeable putt. Oh no, that could be trouble. Okay, curled up quick, but that's coming in hyzer on a hillside. That spells disaster if you don't make that.
With a capital D. Disaster.
Oh, Paul, that was very close.
So I was actually in a hole down there. There's like a little hole with the bears live, I think, and my whole entire leg was in it. It was like awkward lie. I wish they would have got a little angle of it, but you just take my word for it. I had my leg bitten off. Calvin with a nice little birdie putt from about 28 feet, and that
is the first lead of the tournament for Calvin.
Yeah.
Or at least of the round. And look at that. You and Presnell just can't get away from each other.
Yeah. We're twinning.
The front nine. I don't know if I've ever seen a front nine twin before. You guys just did it. McBeth wishes he had twinned Calvin because that was a blistering 7 under front nine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Prez and I with literally average Joes.
Yeah, one down is you'd like to be closer to like 7.
It's 2. 2
down.
down.
2 down, 2 down, excuse
Yep.
me. So checking in on the leaderboard, Calvin Heimburg 7 under. He has got a 1-shot advantage over McBeth. Girthy and Dickerson, who have tied through the first 2 rounds, are tied through the front 9. They're twinning the whole tournament so far. They're at 19, tied it for third place right now with Presnell. You're 1 shot back at that. We've got some serious action, not just for this event, but for the Disc Golf Pro Tour final standings. It all comes down to 9 holes left. What's going through your mind heading into the back 9?
Average Joe needs to kind of get a makeover or something because we needed Prez and I need to make a nice push, but it's a nice battle between Calvin and Paul, and I mean anyone's game obviously right now as it stands.
Thank you so much to the Founders Club. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for Prodigy Disc for the coverage. We'll see you in the back 9 at the conclusion of the Play It Again Sports Jonesboro Open.